So here we are, stop number 5. The tide turns. Quite a few markers here. This is a nice spot as well. On that marker there's a little robin sitting. And again, I think there's a 3-pound cannon here with its case on behind it. It's limber. Now there's this marker here for Here Fraser fell. Remember we talked at our last stop that Morgan's rifleman came from the left up here from the south, and this is marker says Here Fraser fell October 7. His forces scattered by Morgan's riflemen. When Burgoyne and his soldiers arrived here on the afternoon of the 7th, they found 2 farm fields full of wheat. British supplies were dwindling and they needed that ripe grain. Orders were given to harvest and gather it. Some officers climbed on the roof of a house in the field to look for the American defenses. They could not see anything, whatever, on account of the dense woods. Crucial time passed, though. So these were wheat fields at that point. The British needed food desperately for not only the soldiers, but the soldiers' families, the men who were following. And that's when the second battle occurred, and then all retreated with great precipitation and confusion. This is at 5 o'clock on the 7th of September, or October 77. Here's Benedict Arnold, who talked about him. Let me have some fun, and let me have some men, and we will have some fun. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, the action became very hot. Once General Arnold's massive reinforcement arrived, the fire of musketry became violent and incessant. American attackers focused on the 2 British flanks. The left flank collapsed. Americans seized 2 6-pounder cannons before a single shot had been fired from them. The British 24th Regiment of Foot and artillery from the right moved to help the wavering left flank. Then the weakened British right flank crumpled. At 4:30, it was all irretrievably lost. Captain George Posh's Hessians, operating 2 6-pounders, kept the Americans from dominating the field. When German infantry protecting them ran off and took refuge behind the trees, the Hessians dragged their guns to the nearby house and continued firing with case shot and balls. However, seeing all was irretrievably lost, Posh called upon his few remaining men to save themselves before it was too late. This is the case shot. Was a thin tin can with iron balls. When the cannon fired case shot, the can blew away to spray a cloud of deadly balls, shredding enemy soldiers. Basically a huge shotgun shell. Solid shot was just that, a solid shot, a ball. Cannonballs did not explode. They are solid iron, and if you get hit with that, that's going to hurt. Exulting in the capture, one of General Burgoyne's flanks and center collapsed. The Americans had a rare chance to take a pair of powerful British cannons. In Burgoyne's army, there were 12-pounders. These were big ones. These much-feared weapons were among the 8 cannons claimed that day. And here we have ornate dolphins, decorated large bronze guns like the 2 12-pounders taken on this battlefield. You can see the 2 of them in the visitor center, which we saw earlier. And you can see here how ornate that is. This was at between 4:30 and 5 o'clock. And then we come back here to the 5 o'clock one. The intense fighting here lasted less than an hour. General Burgoyne's army broke, running pell-mell for the camp, with thousands of Americans close behind them. Brigadier General Simon Fraser took command of the rear guard to protect the fleeing soldiers. A shot pierced Fraser's body, and he fell mortally wounded. And they say this is where he fell. They're not sure where he was buried. But he was one of the great British heroes. He was from Scotland. Most of the British Army were either from Scotland, Ireland, and a lot of them were from Hesse-Hanau, Germany, and Braunschweig, the Brunswickers in Germany. So when you hear about the Hessians fighting during the Revolutionary War, a lot of them were not actually Hessians, they were Brunswickers. And there were a lot of Brunswickers here coming up, and we go to the battle of, the second battle here, where the Boot Monument is. A lot of the Brunswickers were there. So here we go. Series number 5. Stop number 5 is over. We're heading down to stop number 6. Got one more marker I want to read to you, though. to commemorate the services of Brigadier General Abraham Ten Brook and the Albany County Militia in the Battle of October 7, 1777. This monument erected by the Philip Livingston Chapter Sons of the Revolution in the state of New York in 1917.